Got it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sam Egly, and my partner is Casey Kai, and we focus on Landscape Conservation Initiative climate change. So the paper that we chose, it's called A New Model of Watershed Scale Aquatic Monitoring from the Crown of the Continent, Quantifying Benefits of Watershed Restoration in the Face of Climate Change. So the scope of the project. So the impacts of climate change on various ecosystems have been predicted by tools such as modeling. Yet questions remain on how best to respond to those predicted future impacts. Organizations managing natural resource areas, the watershed in the Northern Rockies, also known as the Crown of the Continent, led by the U.S. Forest Service, are preparing by enacting a 10-year plan to answer questions. So the questions are, what is in 1.5 million acres of the watershed? How is it doing, and how restoration efforts have affected the area? And as you can see, the map to the left, it shows the landscape and the linkages between the unpaved forest roads, which are the gray, and the stream bed sediment, and the major rivers are in the blue. Okay, so landscape heterogeneity. So the location of the project is within the Northern Rocky Mountains, and specifically the project was conducted in an area measuring 1.5 million acres. To give you just an idea, it's the roughly the size of the state of Delaware. And within those acres, habitats transitions from one to another depending on factors such as elevation, with waterways flowing or collecting throughout the landscape. And according to the United States Geological Survey, summits commonly only are up to 2,100 to 2,400 meters above sea level. And a majority of the project land is designated as public lands. And you can click on the interactive map with the link provided, and it shows the whole span of the landscape. Okay.
All right. So the hope of the project, or at least the goals that they were hoping to achieve, as listed on the Landscape Conservation Cooperative, was they want to have better monitoring and understanding of aquatic ecosystems, more informed management and restoration activities, and greater understanding of potential future climate change impacts. And you can find out more about this through our reference page. So what did they use in order to start the project? Specifically talked about in the paper that you all will be reading is the Geomorphic Road Analysis and Inventory Package. Now, this was created by Black et al. In 2012, and it's basically a tool that is used to answer what are unpaved roads doing to the watershed. Now, another tool that they're hoping to implement throughout the project is something called PACFISH InFish, Biological Opinion Effectiveness Monitoring Program. How they describe it in the write-up for the Landscape Conservation Cooperative is sample site numbers required to establish relationships between road systems and current stream and watershed conditions. You'll also hear this tool spoken about by our expert that we interviewed, Dr. Roper. Now, this project, although it is 1.5 million, although it is 1.5 million acres, there were a lot of people who are associated with the project, and these are the organizations that they are associated with. So you can see a lot of groups coming together. Now, the expert we interviewed, as I mentioned, is Dr. Brett Roper, and since 2001, he has worked with the U.S. Forest Service as the National Aquatic Monitoring Program Leader. He earned his master's and PhD from the University of Idaho, and now he is an adjunct assistant professor with Utah State University.
Officially, thank you.
Mhm. Mhm.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Roper again.
Thank you.
Oops. Oh, sorry. Okay.
All right. So for our discussion reading, we found a paper, Linkages Between Unpaved Forest Roads and Streambed Sediment, Why Context Matters in Directing Road Restoration.
And so our discussion question is a bit of a two-parter. It's how might the knowledge gained from the first phase of the project involving unpaved roads and streambed sedimentation be utilized in management decisions for future impacts from climate change on a watershed? And from there, what are your thoughts on restoration efforts and their ties to the potential impacts from climate change? Here is our list of references. And we'd like to leave you with this thought. And I'll move. Sorry about that. There you go. All right. Well, thanks,
Thank you
everybody.
guys. Hope you enjoyed.